Hey guys, Solar here, back again with another review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Mattel Masterverse Masters of the Universe Revelation Teela, as she appeared in part 1, episode 2 onward in part 1 anyways, of the Netflix series Masters of the Universe Revelation. Yeah, I gotta say, I'm now the proud owner of a total SJW looking lesbian action figure. But at any rate, no, this is not my favorite look for Teela. I think it strays a bit too far from what Teela has looked like over the years. Even the battlefield design, which is way different from the quote-unquote classic vintage toy look. This is not my preferred look for Teela, and to be honest, doesn't seem to be for a lot of other people either. I mean, when I first saw this character in the initial images that were released of this show, I didn't think it was Teela. I thought it was a generic redhead barbarian chick. Or dude. I could see where people are coming from with that. Not really this figure, but the animation art that was released before the show. And apparently she's supposed to be lesbian lovers with Andra, the black chick in the show. I didn't get that at all. A lot of people think it's queer baiting. I think people need to find something else to look forward to in life other than sex, or just quit reading too deep into things, because I didn't get that at all. I got it as two best friends going on wacky adventures with each other, kind of like Emperor's New Groove. They did the same thing in that, and they weren't gay. I mean, just proves my point there. But yeah, this is not my preferred look for Teela. I gotta tell you though, the thing that really kills it for me is this stupid haircut. Nobody cuts their hair like this in the real world, or really in the fictional world anymore. Unless it's, comics, I guess. But I don't know a lot of people who rock this hairdo and think it looks cool. It's kind of a trope at this point. Kind of like how in an animated movie you gotta sing because that's what all the Disney movies do. That's a trope. So, it's just not something I'm really into. I think this design could have been tweaked a bit. Maybe ditch the pants. Made this part darker. Kept the armor. The armor's kind of cool. Had the hair like a little bit longer maybe. But yeah, she's totally not Teela looking in any way, which kind of works with the story, but kind of works against the overall character. But that's just my 2 cents. It's not my cup of tea. I bought the thing anyways because I have the other figures from this 10-year time jump, which is what this figure, of course, is supposed to represent. We are going to get the classic version of Teela from episode 1 with the long hair, alternate head. Which I kind of wish she just kept it that way. I don't know. Again, this haircut here is what's killing it for me, because I just think it looks stupid, but that's besides the point. As far as her accessories go, she comes with this spear, which her weapons, I guess, kind of like a Swiss Army knife weapon. She can turn it into a spear, or it can retract into a little handle, which goes on a loop on the back of her belt. And then she also has the sword, which we'll look at in a minute. And then she comes with an extra set of hands. She has a grip hand for the left side and a fist for the right. Not quite sure why we didn't get a fist for the left or this kind of open, relaxed hand for the right. Unless I missed them in the package. I don't think I did. Taking a look-see at her here. Her sword, which is her weapon, does come out pretty easy. And you can take this little thingamabob here and stick it on the belt loop there. Have it there for safekeeping. But yeah, she's it looks like her. Whether you're into that or not is personal preference at this point, to be honest with you. Again, I think this strays a bit too far from what Teela looks like. It does work with the story, yes, but if you're trying to sell it as Teela, it's not that great as far as marketing goes, but, I'm not the one making and selling the toys either. But I also got to tell you, I'm not a fan of Sarah Michelle Gellar as this character. Just seems kind of bitchy to me. I think we could have gotten somebody like Jennifer Hale to pull this off a little better. Kind of like how they got Tracy Morgan to voice Captain Caveman in the Scooby-Doo movie last year, and now he's was it early in the Squidbilly show on Adult Swim. It just doesn't work. I don't care for it. A lot of the other voices in this show are really solid. Like I forgot to mention in my Beastman video that he's voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson, one of my absolute favorite voice actors. But it's just Sarah Michelle Gellar talking and sounding very kind of pissy-moany, which again kind of works with the story, but she kind of sounds like this and it's just very, very not pleasant on the ears. She sounds like she smokes. Like the chick who voices the sorceress, who is also known for Wonder Woman in the old DC cartoon, Suzanne Eisenberg, sounds younger than Sarah Michelle Gellar as Teela, so, whatever. Not my first pick, not my last pick either, but whatever, I guess. She was Buffy the Vampire Slayer too, right? The second one. I don't know how many people care for her in that role either, but I don't know. I hear the Teela voice and it's like, I built a life of virtue and truth and then smoked a pack of cigarettes. I can't do it, man. It's just not working for me. But, the show's done. It's made. Nothing you can do about it now. But as far as articulation goes on this, I'm not going to call her a lovely lady because, again, her head will rotate. She does look up and down. Does look up quite a bit, too. And she's got lots of that springy syndrome going on with the ball pegs on this figure, so watch out for that. Her shoulders go up pretty far. She's pretty ripped, as you can see here. Like, look at that. Bigger than my arms. Although it's kind of odd. I always thought these two muscle groups are on the inside of your bicep, not the outside. And then there's like 3 lumps that are supposed to be on the outside. But this looks right. So I don't know if that's just different on females or what, but I notice a lot of Marvel Legends like this kind of 2 lump parts on the inside of the bicep, not the outside. So, just something to note there. Nothing you can do about it either because it's pinless. You can bend her elbow pretty good. Not too shabby. She's got swivel and hinges in the wrists, but those are really tight. So you're probably going to want to heat those up. Now, she has a diaphragm joint, but I'm going to tell you, this is the worst one I've had on one of these. I actually heated up the armor and kind of warped it down so she doesn't have as much bobble forward and back. She's got a nice side-to-side tilt action going on. That works fine. But the forward and back, it's so minimalistic, it doesn't even really matter. And really, I don't want to warp that armor out of place because it's fine where it is. And she's got a little bobble, but before she had a lot. She was weeble wobble like a bobblehead. And side note, this armor does not come off. Mine came unglued because your boy was stupid and thought it just unpegged. And really, I just popped it off, and it's supposed to be glued. So, don't do that. Don't be stupid. And undo the armor back here because it's not supposed to come off. It's really no way around that. You can't take it off the figure. You gotta have this glued down, which I need to have the old man go in there and glue that down. But other than that, I didn't really have any problems with this figure other than the torso being kind of loose, which I did fix for the most part. So, take that for what it's worth anyways. She does have a waist swivel, which works fine. It's okay. Her skirt was pretty warped and packaged too, but I flattened that out enough, I think. But her hips do kick forward, they kick back, because this is where it was. It's like up here. And now it's at least down to where her legs are. at the very least. I might heat it up a little bit more. The heat's on right now, actually. Try and warp it ever so slightly, but it's fine for the time being. She does have in and out at the hip here as well. Her hips work pretty good, just like the Evelyn's. She's got a thigh cut. She's got double jointed knees, but I don't think I've ever tried them. Ooh wee, that's tight. There we go. So she can clearly almost kick her own butt, which I think is what she really needs sometimes. I don't want anything to do with magic. That's more fun to poke fun at than to complain about, to be honest with you. She's got a boot cut, and she's got a hinge in the foot with a rocker joint. Rockers are pretty good on these figures for the most part. And, you know, if they're off kilter, you can use the boot cut to get it where you want. So that's a plus. Not too shabby. She's got peg holes on the bottom of the feet, but she really doesn't need them. She stands okay. But as far as I'm concerned, popping this little stick out of her belt loop there, she is going to have the sword. Because the sword is her quintessential weapon, I think. I don't remember using a spear at all, but I could have just missed that. I don't know. But, yeah, she's got her sword. She looks cool. As cool as this design can be to me, anyways. Again, I much prefer the classic look, the 2000X look, or the Battleground Teela, excuse me. The old mini comic design, for those of you who are like, what the hell is a Battlefield or Battleground Teela? It's the old Alcala. I think it's Alcala style. But, yeah, it's a cool figure. If you're into this look, I'd say it's a really solid representation of that look. It's just not a character design I care for. It's a little bit basic, which, again, this makes sense for the story, but I wish they would have changed a couple other things. Like the pants, I would have taken out, and again, this loincloth piece, I would have made the dark brown, like the fuzzy undies that she used to have. The boots are fine. I like the kind of different straps and things. And then the chest plate's fine for the most part. Might have dished a collar piece, but maybe giving her a ponytail? A ponytail with this look would actually be okay. If she had a ponytail on the back here, even if it was a small one, it would have looked a little better than what she's got going on. Because it's very, pardon my French, but it's very dyke-ish. And that's probably why people think it's queer baiting. Because just look at it. Let's just say I don't know a lot of women, period, that have this look, let alone straight women. So with that being said, controversial thoughts aside, let's take a look at some comparisons. First up here is Teela next to a couple other figures from the Masterverse line. We have Evelyn and Beastman as they appeared in the Time Warp again. And as you can see, they kind of translate better into this, Time Warp, no pun intended. Okay, maybe a little bit. Design, because you can still tell Evelyn is Evelyn and Beastman is Beastman. They got some features going on that just kind of stand out. I mean, Beastman looks a lot like the mini-comic version where he was all one color, and then Evelyn still got her helmet and her staff and whatnot, so you can clearly tell that's her, unless you put the alternate head on, then it's all, who's the bitch with the long white hair? Teela, not so much. Again, it is show accurate, but it does stray pretty far from the original designs or designs we've gotten before. So if you're not into that, you're probably not going to be into this figure. Next up, here she is next to a couple more figures from the Masterverse line. You have Mighty He-Man, of course, and if you use the extra head from the Deluxe Faker, the one with just the straight up red eyes, not the battle damage one that is, you can reenact the scene from Subternia where Teela fights Scareglow disguised as He-Man. That's pretty cool. And we also have Skeletor, who didn't really appear while Teela looked like this until the end of part 1 of MOTU Revelation, but she does look good next to him nonetheless. The only one I'm missing now is Man-at-Arms, who I'm always beat to, and it's starting to get a little annoying because it's happened 3 times now. third time's a charm my ass. And people are saying he's like the best figure in the line so far. I don't know if I go that far. I think Scareglow is, but I am biased towards Scareglow because he is my favorite character in all of MOTU. But hopefully at some point I will finally obtain that Man-at-Arms. Time will tell. And last but certainly not least, we have our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus and the MK11 Spawn, who, yeah, totally dwarfs Teela here. Teela's kind of short. I think she's even shorter than Evelyn. But, at any rate, with that said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, in my opinions about this particular character design or the way this character was portrayed in the Masters of the Universe Revelation series aside, this is a really solid representation of that character. If you like this character design or are a big fan of this version of Teela, then you are going to like this figure. I guarantee it. But if you're like me, you're probably going to be a little bit more indifferent towards it. I picked it up because I'm a pseudo-completionist and I wanted her to go with the other versions of the characters from the time jump in the series. She'll be going alongside the Beastman and the Evelyn that I showed off earlier in the video, as well as Andra, who will be in Wave 3. And if we get him Roboto, I really hope we get Poncho Roboto. I'm all for that. And I think we're getting Orko with Savage He-Man, right? Not Ular. Quit calling him Ular. That's ridiculous. But with that being said, stay tuned to my buddy T-Biz's channel. Shout out to T-Biz, because he will have a review of this figure up at some point this week. And I'm sure he will thoroughly enjoy it, as he does almost everything MOTU, which there is nothing wrong with that. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And if you are so inclined, please hit that notification bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one, because we got to show that algorithm who's boss, right? And if you haven't already, hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.